God is your purpose. That's what I would tell myself. Like, seek God. That's your purpose. Nothing else. And the Bible says if you seek Him first and His righteousness, all these other things will be added unto you. So I'm putting the Bible to the test. If the Bible is real, I'm going to find out. When I first quit my career, which was in manufacturing, it was because I felt like I wasn't in my purpose. And at the time, I knew God existed, but I didn't really know. And it's this word called conviction. Conviction is when something speaks to your soul on a personal level to where you can't deny it, you know. And so I was convicted of the things that I was doing, by the things that I was doing. And so, I was just like, alright, if God is real and He has all this love and He's as great as I hear, then I need to know. And so I quit my job and I just stepped out on faith and was just like, alright God, if you're real, like, I need you to show me something, because at the time I was like very suicidal and I just wasn't pleased with my life. And it wasn't because I was poor or because I had a bad relationship. It was, I don't know what it was. It just, life didn't give me any type of satisfaction. And I would say maybe like a month later, I started working at this restaurant. And at the time, I had been through a whole lot. Like, I would say 2019 was my toughest life, my toughest year. Like, breaking point, suicide, like I just didn't want to be here. It was really tough. And so, when I went to the restaurant, started working at the restaurant, I knew that it was a door opened up by God, because it had nothing to do with everything that I knew. And I work in this restaurant and they're treating me like crap. They're paying me $11 an hour. I'm doing something that I don't even want to do, which is cooking food. I never ever wanted to be a chef in my life. I'm sweeping and mopping the floor every single night. Just doing like slave labor, really. And then being disrespected at that, just being talked down to, yelled at, and then, because I was so good at what I was doing, they started giving me more jobs. So I started off by like being a waiter, and then they put me in the kitchen, and I started off being the line cook, and then I started being the leading line cook. They couldn't keep employees because the work environment was so horrible. So I was pretty much the only one that was like holding it down. And because I knew God was working on me, I stayed and I suffered and I went through like the beating. And I did that for a year and 9 months. And by the time that 9 months had came, I had pretty much did every role in the company, did it well, did it consistently. I was literally like employee of the year. The owner of the restaurant wanted to give me the keys 3 times and I turned it down because I didn't want it. I didn't want the job. I wasn't trying to get the keys. I was there because I wanted God to work on me, and I wanted God to just have His way in my life. And I had figured out that like, Roman, you may be smart, you may have all of these great attributes, but you really don't know what you're doing. And I knew that because I was dealing with suicide and just dealing with like darkness, and it was like really bad, very, very bad. So I was just like, made up my mind that like, alright, if God created me, then maybe He can fix me. Came out on top pretty much, in terms of like having a character. And character isn't really just about being honest or having integrity, but it's more about when somebody says F you, can you still hold that integrity? Can you still be honest? When you take a pen and your boss comes and screams at you in your face and tells you you're worth nothing and says, oh, where's my pen? Can you still give him the pen? So I was put in situations like that where my character was being built up, and as the Bible says, he refines us like gold. I was being refined, and all the impurities that I had in my personality were being melted out. I was born in Oklahoma. Right after I was born, my parents moved to Wichita, Kansas, and that's where my sister was born. So I grew up there for like a few months. I don't even know if it was a whole year. It might have been a whole year. But after that, then my parents split up, and so my mom moved out here to Los Angeles, and we moved actually. When we first came out here, we were like homeless for a while, so I stayed with my grandma, and I'm not really too sure my mom stayed. Very faint memories. So I grew up like with my grandma on my mom's side, and then we moved like right down the street from Mer Park in Degnan. That was where like our first apartment, and it's crazy because I was maybe 4 years old, and the money that we used to put a down payment to pay the first and the last on the apartment was money that I had saved up. And so I think I was maybe, I was around 4, I believe, and I had already saved up enough to pay the first and last rent on an apartment right down the street. And I remember, I'll never forget that. I didn't know that the money was used until the last minute. I actually had developed a relationship with my grandma where it was like I give my money to her so she can save. She taught me the importance of saving money. And so I was saving up money all throughout, preschool. I don't know how much money a little kid can save, but I was saving a lot of money. And I remember one day when my grandma was taking us to move into the apartment, she was like, Roman, I gotta tell you that, I gave the money that you gave me to your mom to pay the first and last on the apartment. And I just remember feeling like so heartbroken, but then I remember also thinking like, okay, if I can pay the rent, what else can I do? I was very like ahead of the game, thinking like 2-3 steps ahead. Starting with chips, candy, stuff like that. And, every day going to high school. I loved high school. It was so great. I was making more money than most people in my family. I had saved up my receipts for 1 year from selling, and I spent about $30,000 on inventory. I think this was 10th grade. And then the next year, I ended up spending like $60,000. I was carrying a backpack that had my back sweating all day because Africa is very humid. So I was tired of that. Secondly, I was only using like 3 or 4 tools: my camera, my iPad, my Apple Pencil, and my earpods. Those are the main things that I would carry throughout my journey of YouTubing. So what I did was I condensed everything into a smaller backpack, and the backpack had 1 strap. And I was like, all right, I should be good to like be a YouTuber and not be overwhelmed with all this weight, So I went out, didn't work, still having the same experience. My back is burning. So I said, bruh, like I need something new, because honestly, I only use my camera, my iPad, my Apple Pencil, my AirPods. I do not need a backpack. I came up with this idea to put all of my items on a chest bag, inside of a chest bag. At the time, chest bags already existed, so it wasn't like, oh, I'm the creator of the chest bag. But a chest bag that can hold a tablet, Apple Pencil, and AirPods in a unique way that didn't exist. So I went on a journey of searching for somebody who could fabricate the idea, and I was very dedicated, very passionate about it. I didn't think anything about being a fashion or a designer or a creator or anything like that. Like, I just wanted something convenient. And after, I think, 3 weeks of searching, I came across somebody who helped me like fabricate the idea, and not only that, they're like a best friend to me, like a brother, like a father now. And so it was like a 2-for-1, because now like I have a avenue of being able to create something, and I also have like a really great friend, which is something money can't buy. And when I was in Africa, it was like I could see all the missing pieces because I've been doing it for so long. And so I told the president of the company, or the founder, I said, look, like, you guys need to do this and do that, and you guys could be doing this and doing that, and I know you can't afford my services, so I want to work for you for free for 1 year, and I'm gonna take you guys to the next level at no charge. And that was just like me really wanting to help, and me not wanting to hear no for an answer. At the time, I cultivated the designer craft, which is what you see in the bags. All the shapes, the colors, the way things are put together, that's all like an artistic craft. I crafted that on my tablet. That was all these bags that you see. I designed them on my tablet first before I brought them into reality. But I began doing designs at a moment where I felt worthless, and I just remember like being intentional about speaking to God when I was having that conversation in my head. And I was just like, Lord, like, what am I really good at? Because if this doesn't work, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And I put it on my phone, and it's crazy because the Bible says that like we become the living vessel. We become the temple of God, and God lives in us. And so sometimes like I think, man, did God hear me, or is God gonna respond to my prayer? And then I have these moments of reflection, like, not only did God respond to my prayer, but He like acted within me. And after I had said, like, God, like, what am I really good at? Like, what is my purpose? Like, what is my gift? What is my talent? Like, what am I here for? I put on my phone, and I just began to like scroll through these different apps, and like I got this revelation of how powerful apps are. And so I downloaded this app called Superimpose, and it's a simple editing app, nothing too fancy, nothing crazy, not even Adobe. It's like a cheap knockoff of Adobe. I downloaded this app, and I began to play around with it and edit pictures. And during that time of editing pictures, I began to like create pictures, and I started creating these amazing abstract picture paintings almost. And I just remember, like, as I was doing this, I was like, dang, I forget how much I love abstract art. And I've been doing abstract art since I was a child. So I'm on this app doing abstract art paintings of people's faces, and I created some of the most amazing things like on the first try. And so I was like, I could make money doing this. So I created an Instagram called MSK Art, and I just posted random arts that I made. And I will go on Instagram and find people that really inspire me, and I'll make a painting of them and then tag them in it. And I just did that for like, I don't know how many weeks. And that cultivated my pen and paper tablet experience, like digital. It's like digital pen and paper. So when I was in Africa, literally the same skills that I did that night, I was doing in the manufacturing to create all the bags and all the designs. And because the manufacturing was there, they already had an experience in their craft. With their craft and like my creativity, we were able to create these products. All right, so this bag right here is what inspired the winter collection. I fell in love with this fabric. It's really abstract, and I feel like it's just like one of the perfect patterns to ever just lay my eyes on. So I created a design on my tablet to bring out like the best colors in the bag, which was white, and then we created it. And so I brought it to the US. I created a matching duffel, which isn't here right now, but I created a matching duffel to complement it, and I brought it to the US, and everybody went crazy over it. And I only made one, so it made me really think deep into just putting more time into creating more designs. And so after I created this one, I said, okay, let me create some more. So then I created like all these other bags. So now we have like a matching purse that I created. And then we have like what we call a Maya backpack. And you know, it has like a unique pattern inside. It has so many different details about it. And then we have this one, which is really awesome. We have a couple more that just aren't here right now, but it started with this one, and you know, I just realized like, okay, next time I create something, like I shouldn't just take it lightly, you know. And so this one, this actually happened by accident because my original design was this one. So if you notice that these have the same face, so I created this one first. During production, these were sitting on the table in a big stack. And so at the time, I felt like this mint and burgundy really complemented each other. And so I stopped production on these. I only created 2 of these and 2 of these. So they're the same face, but just different tops. So this one has a blue top, that one has a pink top. So I stopped production on these, and I said, guys, I want to do a whole new design, same thing, but just with this color alone. And so that's when we created this one, and this was just like the color scheme, and then the fabric that I designed to go with it were just really perfect. And you know, just like all the interior parts of it, like we really just put a lot of effort and time into creating like something that we could sell for a whole lot. Like we wanted the bag to sell itself. And so literally, like I just was like, okay, I want to ramp up production on this particular design. And then I created the matching backpack to go with it, which is one of my favorite backpacks. And it has the same fabric on the inside. And these right now, we have one version, which is the original, that goes for $400, and then we have this one, which the interior fabric is different than the one that we first made, and those sell for $600 each. And but that's how they came about. Was pretty much I saw them through these bags. So yeah, I mean, I'm in love with these. These are like, I don't know, just the color scheme is just really nice. There's nothing like it out there, and it's original, authentic, organic, and you know, just these abstract pieces right here are just kind of like my symbol now. So I put these pretty much on all my bags. I even have like a painting in my house that I did of the same symbol. And yeah, you know, I'm just discovering myself as an artist, and so that's what I'm doing now until I decide to change my mind and do something else.